شهادتونك تجيب بنتين تعمل له الإجابة في سوهر.
هو معنا هنا في بوكا ولا زيارة ولا؟
أنا عايش في طنطا مكان.
طنطا أوكي.
حضرتك الشغل الأجازة الثانية راجع من فترة ذاك الليلة طبعا.
خلاص إن شاء الله.
Brother, if you come here.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله هيا على السلام هيا على السلام هيا للفلاح هيا الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره ونستغفره ونستهديه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أما بعد فإن أفضل الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. In the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Beneficent, praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah who has blessed us with the greatest blessing ever, and that is to make us Muslims. ومما زادني شرفا وطيبا وكدت بأخمص أدب الثريا دخولي تحت قولك يا عبادي وأسيرت أحمد لي نبيا. The greatest blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can bestow upon any one of us is to refer to us as His servants. يقول تعالى لن يستنكف المسيح أن يكون عبدا لله ولا الملائكة المقربون ويقول تعالى وعباد الرحمن فأما بعد يا عباد الرحمن. Beloved brothers and sisters, today we want to talk about one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ, as he says, أُوتِيتُ جَوَامِعَ الْكَلِمِ. One of the miracles that the Prophet ﷺ was given was little words that mean so much. Jawami' means comprehensive, something that ties everything together. So he might say 2 or 3 words, but those 2 or 3 words would inspire and mean, and the more you reflect in it, it could change the entire direction of your life. So today we want to speak about a few words that the Prophet ﷺ said. But brothers and sisters, it's the most beautiful, inspiring thing when you reflect on the words of the Prophet ﷺ. The words are simple. The hadith is authentic. It's in Sahih Bukhari, and it's also in Musnad Imam Ahmad. The Prophet ﷺ says, لِكُلِّ دَاءٍ دواء علمه من علمه وجهله من جهله. To every disease there is a cure. Let me say it again. The Prophet ﷺ does not lie. And he said, to every disease there is a cure. Some people know it, and some people are ignorant about it. And the word disease does not only mean physical disease. It means that if I have cancer, there is a cure for cancer. It's an attitude. That if there's a challenge in my life as a Muslim, I need to find out how to overcome it. I need to find out how to overcome it. If it's a medical issue, if it's a health issue, if it's something with my classes in college, if it's something with my children, if it's something with my job, there is a solution. I love it. Every 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get a brother come up to me and say, please make dua for me. And I absolutely, I would love to make dua. I'm not that special, but I'll make dua for what? To find a wife. I can't find a wife. Okay. Well, have you told anybody in the masjid you're looking? No. You know how the people are. Did you tell any of the elder ladies or sisters or families here? No, I haven't. Just make dua. How are you going to find a wife if you're not even looking? If you're not searching? So to every challenge, there's a solution. There is a solution. The beautiful thing about this hadith is it inspires you. Each and every one of us has a challenge right now. One of us can't get married. One of us can't get a job. Every time they go to the interview, they're having challenges. One of us financially struggling like heck, can't make things meet, and can't pay their bills. One of us is having a problem with his wife. She's driving him crazy. No matter what he does, she doesn't appreciate him. Sisters, don't worry, I got you too. And some of the sisters, they have husbands that are just a piece of crap. We're not going there. And then we have children, and my children don't understand me, and I don't understand them, and I don't know what to do. You know what the beauty of this hadith is? Is the Prophet ﷺ, who always tells the truth, says, بِكُلِّ دَاءٍ دَوَاءٍ. You see all those challenges you're facing? There's a solution to it. But I can't be using the same mentality. I can't be doing the same mistake over and over again. I need to think out of the box. I need to find a way. I need to research. I need to ask, but there's a solution for it. One thing that makes me laugh is 90% of divorces in the Middle East or Middle Eastern men. You know what the reason is? It's the same reason. 90%. The mother-in-law. The mother-in-law. My mother and my wife. World War III. gets married and his wife doesn't like his mother and his mother doesn't like his wife, and how dare you say this to my mother, and this is my got divorced. And then after the divorce, they're running to the masjid and to the imam. I divorced 3 times, but I was angry. Does this fuck? Does it not happen? Does it happen? Because I didn't know what the solution is before the problem happens. It reminds me of a very funny story of where a woman came, and this is an old village. She went to a man. Back then they had like magicians and people that do different kind of natural healings and stuff. And she said to him, there's a problem between me and my husband, and I think my husband is going to marry another wife, and he's not with me all the time, and I need you to find something that I might feed him or do to him or whatever, that he will only love me. I said, okay, sure, I'd love to do that. But up in the mountains, there's a lion. And if you can cut me just some of that hair of the beard, the face of the lion, that beard, like looks like a beard there, just cut some hair. I'll mix it with some stuff. Your husband will always love you and nobody else in the world, and he'll be addicted to you. The lady said, okay. She loves her husband. She doesn't want to lose him. So she prepared, cut some meat and whatever, and went to the side of the mountain, saw the lion. She threw it far away and ran away, and the lion came and ate it. And the next day she cut some meat and she put it a little bit closer, and the lion came and she ran away. After a week of every time taking meat to the lion, finally she's standing there and she puts it, and the lion becomes gentle because now he's getting acquainted with her and starts to eat while she's standing there. And she has the scissors and she goes to the beard of the lion and cuts some hair and runs to the magician. Says, "Ha! I get you the hair of the lion." And the magician says, "My daughter, I'm a man, and I'll get you 100 other men. And all of us are afraid of a lion. And if we see a lion, we will run far away from the lion. And yet you were able to tame the lion. How did you do it?" She said, "Easy. I feed him, and I tie his back." He said, "You dumb lady, why don't you do that to your husband? He will worship you." The solution is easy. Change your way. Think out of the box. The Prophet ﷺ says, لِكُلِّ دَاءٍ دَوَاءٍ. Every challenge, every disease, every sickness has a solution. There's some people that know it. And if we don't know it, we need to ask and find what can I do differently? What am I doing wrong so I can improve myself and solve that problem? Think out of the box. Humble yourself and ask, and you'll get the way out of it. Financially, a lot of us might be in the same box, in the same rut. How do I do this? How do I do that? One thing that really amazes me when it comes to creativity, and they teach it in some MBA programs, is in Canada, someone had a store where he used to sell toys. In a small city, in a small town. This man, his entire life until he got older, all he did is have this little toy store and would sell toys to the kids. And people that love that area, the weekends it's packed. All the kids in that city will come and buy from him. So now the big stores figured it out, that this is where you can sell stores. So Toys R Us, one of the biggest vendors that sell toys, came and built a store right next to him. So this guy has a little store, and here you have Toys R Us. And then Walmart said, "Oh, this is a good location." So Walmart came and bought the block next to him. So you have this little room in the middle, and you have this big Walmart and this big Toys R Us. If it's me, I'll say, I'll lock the place and walk away. There's no way you can compete with Toys R Us and Walmart. But the guy thought out of the box, so guess what he did? He wrote on top of the building, entrance. So guess what happened? Did he lose his business? No. Everybody thought, hey, we're going here, that's the entrance. So now you got maybe the Walmart and the Toys R Us customers. And the moral of the story is think out of the box. Think out of the box. What's the problem that I'm going through? There's a solution for it. I need to be wise, I need to ask, I need to research it. But Allah created, allowed for the problem, for the sickness, for the challenge to happen, and Allah also created a solution for it. My job is to research that solution, is to research that cure, is to implement that with wisdom. And change my ways. If things are not going my way, then I need to do something differently. A lot of times as parents, we think we're the smartest, we're the wisest. And there's a famous story where someone went to one of the top psychologists and counselors in the US and he asked them. And he said, I don't understand my son. I don't understand my son. So the guy asked him and said, what do you mean? He says, he doesn't listen to me. He said, can you repeat that again? He said, yes. I don't understand my son. He doesn't listen to me. He said, sir, can you repeat that just a little bit slower? He said, are you stupid? You don't? He was like, no. Repeat it a little bit slower. He said, sure. I don't understand my son. He doesn't listen to me. He says, if I don't understand you, should I listen to you or should you listen to me? I don't understand you. Should I listen to you or should you listen to me? But we as parents don't understand our children because they don't listen to us. We're not willing to talk, to ask, to try and understand, to try and have a discussion, to try and have a conversation, to try and have a true understanding, but we want to sit here and I don't understand the kids nowadays and they don't listen to us. If I'm having a challenge, maybe I need to sit down, humble myself, and have a discussion, and have a conversation, and ask questions. That's one thing. Read about the Prophet ﷺ and how he treated people, how he treated kids, younger people. No one more educated and civilized than the Prophet ﷺ. And then he would ask people, he would ask kids, he would ask everybody. Even when something is clear, black and white, he would have a conversation about it. In the famous hadith that we all know, the man walks into the masjid and says, Prophet of Allah, I want adultery to be halal. I just want to go up there and have sex with any girl that I want. All of us will say, haram, kafir, everybody gets in there, terrible guy, what's wrong with you? The Prophet says, son, come here, come sit next to me. To show him that I love you, I hear you, come sit next to me. Not only that, he took his hand, and he put his hand over his heart, over his chest. The heart means love. So he's saying, I love you, I hear you, I understand why you're saying that. I understand as a teenager, as a youth, that you have challenges, that you have desires, things that you can't control, things that drive. I understand. I feel you. I understand you. Did the Prophet start to lecture? No. He started to have a conversation. He said, my son, what would you say if a man goes and has sex with your mother right now? What are you talking about, Prophet of Allah? How dare you even say this? Don't you talk about my mother? If they, I will kill him. What if someone was to have sex with your sister right now? What are you talking about, Prophet of Allah? How dare you say this? Your daughter. Someone is just to go off the street and have sex with her. That's my daughter. That's my honor. I will. He says, and that is why people don't accept it, and more importantly, that is why Allah does not accept it. And the man looked at the Prophet of Allah and said, Wallahi, Prophet of Allah, when I walked in, there was nothing that I wanted to do more than have sex with any girl that I see out there. And Wallahi, there is nothing that I hate right now than committing adultery. Because of a conversation. Have a conversation. Ask. Change your way, and you'll get better results. This hadith is a way of life. If you're a husband having challenges with your wife, if you're a wife having challenges with your husband, if you're having challenges with your children, if you're having problems with your family members, if you're having problems at work. I remember when I first started work years ago, my manager was the nicest person in the world, but I hated him. Not only that, everybody that the department hated that manager. Because he does something that people hate. It's called micromanagement. You know what micromanagement means? Everything you do, they're on top of you like a helicopter. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? No, don't do this. Don't do it. Okay, I'll do it. 5 minutes later, did you do this? Did you do that? Okay, better make sure you do. Drove me crazy. Maybe that's the reason I don't have any hair today. Drove me crazy. So I remember I was talking to one of my friends and I said, I hate my manager. He's a micromanager. And he just said something very simple. He said, do you know why people micromanage? Do you know why mothers micromanage? I'm a grown man. I'm getting khutbah right here and speaking to all the people. When I go in front of my mother, hey, why are you late? Why did you go here? You gotta eat this. No, sit down. If you look, Mom, do you know? I don't care. Sit down. Look, why? He said, do managers micromanage? Why do mothers micromanage? I said, I don't know. He said, because they're afraid. They're afraid of you failing. And that changed the way I saw my manager. And that changed the way I saw my mother. So whenever my mother asks me now, are you late and what happened and what did you do this? I want to argue and say, I'm a grown man, don't tell me. What would I do? I go give her a hug and say, I love you too. And when my manager comes up and says, did you do this, did you do that? Now I know that he's afraid that something might go wrong or he's worried. So what do? Come here. Everything is okay. Come look at this, come look at that. And after a while, he changed. Because he saw that I'm there to support and help. After a while, he's like, okay, now I trust you. Now you got this. So sometimes we need to change the way we see things or converse with things. Or we need to go out of the box to ask. But Allah created the challenges or allowed for them to happen, and the diseases and allowed for them to happen, and the sicknesses, whether it's COVID, whether it's cancer, whatever it is. But yet, the Prophet ﷺ says, to every illness, to every challenge, to every disease, there is a cure. عَلِمَهُ مَنْ عَلِمَهُ. There are some people that know it, and there are some people that don't know. أقول هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه غفور رحيم. Beloved brothers and sisters, to summarize this khutbah, I'll summarize it by the words of a prophet in the Quran. And he gives a very powerful fatwa. What does he say in it? This is a man called Prophet Yaqub, Jacob, the son of Isaac, Ishaq, the son of Abraham, Ibrahim. His son, Yusuf, at a young age, was taken away from him. Everybody thought he was dead. And then he lost his other son. And then he lost his eldest son. He lost 3 of his sons for years. Yusuf, he hasn't seen in over 30 years. Everybody said he's dead. And he says, my son, go and search your brother Yusuf. They said, Dad, you have lost it. He said, he's dead. If he was alive, he would have came back right now. 30 years. There's no way he's alive. And then Prophet Yaqub made a fatwa. He said, Ya bunayya, يا بني اذهبوا فتحسسوا من يوسف ولا تيأسوا من روح الله. Here's the fatwa. إنه لا ييأس من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون. No one gives up hope in the mercy of Allah except for the worst of the worst of the worst of the kafir. You can never be a Muslim or a mu'min or a believer or have an active way to faith in Allah and give up hope. I don't care what sickness you have, what disease you have, what the doctors have said, how your financial situation is, how your children are doing, how your parents are doing, how your marriage is doing, how your job is doing, how financially you're doing. You cannot give up hope in Allah because Allah has created the medicine for it. My job is to chase and run and find that medicine and find how I can implement it. If there's something wrong with my marriage, I can fix it. There's a way to fix it, but I need to change my ways. There's a story that I mentioned, and wallahi al-azim, I remember it like yesterday, it happened years ago. And wallahi, it happened in this part of the history, where a sister came up to me one day and said, my husband is contemplating divorcing me. And I said, what? He's a wonderful brother, and I know him, and genuinely, he's a very good person. Why is he contemplating it? What's happening? What's wrong? Is there anything I can do? He said, yes, I need to talk to him because it's getting very, very bad, and you know, he's planning, and he told his parents, and he mentioned to my parents, so everything is about to fall apart. And I said, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with him? Why is he doing this? He's good. I know him. I can talk to him. She said, because when I get angry, I lose control of myself. I get very angry. And I said, what do you do? He said, no, that's just my parents raised me. And I know I'm spoiled. He says I'm spoiled. And when I get angry, I really get angry. I said, okay, so he doesn't like it when you get angry or things that happen? She says, yes. Now, little by little, she's starting to get angry at me. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to figure out. And now that angry side is unleashing. Yes, because when I get angry, I really get angry. I said, oh, so he wants to divorce you because when you get angry, you really get angry. She said, yes. So tell him not to divorce me. And now I am trying to save myself, literally. Wallahi, I'm getting scared. And I'm thinking, luckiest guy, divorce or run for your life. If I'm trying to help and she's screaming at me, it's like, yes, I get angry and he cannot divorce me. And like, you have the solution to your problem in your hands. I hope you guys are getting the moral of the story. A lot of the times we have a problem, maybe with our kids, maybe with our husband, maybe with our wife, maybe with our children, maybe with our manager, maybe with our boss. The solution is right there. We already know the problem. We just need to change ourselves. We need to humble ourselves. The Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, you will never regret if you ask an opinion of someone you trust. And you will always do right if you make istikhara. Two things. If I'm going to make a decision, ask people's opinion and pray istikhara. And that's why in marriages I've seen it both ways, and I always laugh about it. When a sister comes up or a brother comes up and they say, I want to marry this person, and my parents are not accepting, and my parents are not happy, and my parents don't want to marry, and it's none of their business, and it's my decision, and I should be happy, and I know what's good for me, and I'm old enough. Dude, you're the dumbest person in the world. It's going to be the worst marriage. If you can't have a conversation to defend why you're making that decision, I've seen it a million times. I know what's best for me. They don't understand. They never have. And you get defensive. You're choosing the wrong person. If your parents say no, don't marry this person. Your father says no. Your mother says no. You're like, Dad, Mom, come here. Let's sit down and talk about it. Okay? You taught me, Baba, to love someone who's a good Muslim, and he's a good Muslim, and you taught me to love someone that's kind, and he's kind, and why don't you give him a chance? And if you're able to converse, you're making the right decision. And then praise the Quran, done. In everything that you're doing, there is a solution. There is a solution. It doesn't matter who says what, when, where. You know, the best doctor said, the best engineer said, the president said, the banker said, the whatever said. They all could be wrong. Because there is a solution to every problem, period. And Prophet ﷺ never lied. And this is 100% true. It's just some people know it, some people don't know it. And I'll conclude with one that I don't mention before. It just intrigues and makes me laugh a little bit. Since we talked about the marriage thing, I'll conclude with the marriage thing as well. This time it's slightly different. As I said, most of the divorces that happen in our countries, the Middle East, mostly 90%, are because of the mother-in-law. And in one case, a man married, took his wife from the city to the village, and where did they stay? In the mother-in-law's house. Ooh. So she's staying with his mother and his sisters. So this is like done, dead. And the mother, she has 3 or 4 daughters. The husband's sisters, but what does she do? She wants water. She sends the wife, her son's wife. Go get me water. Okay. Go get me this. Okay. Go do this. Okay. I'll get this. Okay. Do this. After a few days, she couldn't take it. You know how the people in the villages are superstitious and stuff? She went to those called Atari, people that make different, whatevers and things, and she said, you know what? Would you please give me something that I could poison this, I'm going to say woman, she said something else. I just get rid of her, she's making my life a living hell. He said, my daughter, piece of cake, I'll do it. She paid for it. He gave her a little bag. He said, but here's one thing. If you give it to her one time when she dies, everybody's going to figure out that it's you. So what do I do? Piece of cake. Every day in the morning, what do? You make tea for her. And put a little bit, just two or three seeds in it. And then in the afternoon, you know what? Rub her feet and have conversations with her. And do you want anything else? So nobody, when she dies, nobody's suspicious. But you did it. I said, and how long? She said 3 weeks. Maximum 1 month, she's history. Perfect. So now she wakes up in the morning, she makes the tea, she puts it, my mother, how are you doing having tea? Here's your tea, gives her a hug, rubs her feet. Anything else that you want from me? Anything else that I can do? No, go ahead. Okay. Next day, tea in the morning, rub her feet, do this. And after 2 weeks, the mother-in-law starts getting sick. And now she can't get off the bed. Sicker and sicker every day. Now she knows, yes, it's working. She's gonna die and I'm gonna get rid of her. And the boy is gonna be mine forever. But then something strange happened when she was sick. The mother-in-law's friends came to visit her. And she looked at the girl and said, go get me tea. And she went to get tea for her and all of the guests. And as she was going, she was overhearing the conversation. The sick woman, about to die, says, you know what? My son married the greatest girl in the world. I have 4 daughters. She takes care of me better than all of my 4 daughters. I wish she was my daughter. I love her more than I love my own daughters. And the girl started to cry. And she dropped the tea and ran to that man, looking and searching, and she said, oh my God, is there anything I can do to break it? She's sick now, she might die, but I don't want her to die. I didn't realize how much she loves me. And the man said, my daughter, I have a big secret to tell you. She said, what? He said, remember the mix that I gave you? Yes. He said, it's a form of mint. It's actually giving the tea special flavor. But I wanted to teach you something, my daughter. All the mother-in-law wanted is for you to know that nobody in the world loves the husband more than his mother. Just like nobody loves a girl more than her father. And she thinks nobody in the world is better to her son than herself. Unless and until you start to treat him good and treat her good and treat him good and treat her good. Then comes a point where she's going to make the mistake, and instead of calling you by your name, she's going to say, my daughter, come here. When she says, my daughter, that's it. You're right about 100%. So brothers and sisters, sorry I went over time, but the point is, things in life want wisdom. In life, we need to think out of the box. In life, we need to humble ourselves and ask other people for opinions. I'm having this problem. At work, I'm having this problem. With my health, I'm having this problem. With my family, I'm having this problem. Financially, I'm having this problem. Physically, I'm having this problem. Ask people. Pray istikhara. Think out of the box. I've tried it once, it didn't work. I tried it twice, it didn't work. Stop doing it the same way. Find a different way of doing it. Find different ways of doing it, because we finished with what we started with. يقول الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم لكل داء دواء. لكل داء. That's why, and listen to what I say, and you guys know that I don't use the word haram lightly. It is haram to say that someone has a terminal disease. Listen to what I'm saying very carefully. What does terminal mean? This person is going to die. There's no way out. How many times have you heard of someone that had cancer one time? And 2 times. And we had it. My brother took me, he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I've mentioned it before, mashallah, tabarakallah. He had cancer what? 4 times. And each time you're going to die and prepare your will and whatever. Mashallah, tabarakallah, he's healthier than me. If we get into a fight, I need you guys to back me up. He will beat me up. And all of that is to say that Allah is merciful. Allah has a solution for all the challenges. No matter how big it looks, there's a solution for it. Search for that solution. Implement that solution. Ask people that have experience and never give up. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا الا غفرته ولا هما الا فرجته ولا كربا الا نفذته ولا عسيرا الا يسرته ولا حاجه من حوائج الدنيا والاخره الا كربا ولنا فيها صلاح الا عنا على قضائها وسرتها برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. Allah, we ask you the most beautiful names and the most beautiful attributes of any one of us, or family members, or loved ones that's sick, that you shower your healing and medicine upon them, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Any one of us that's going through any hardship in this dunya, Ya Rabbil Alameen, relieve them of that hardship, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Anyone that's struggling in their family, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless their homes and bless their family and bring happiness and joys into our family, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Strengthen our relationships, strengthen our bonds, strengthen our love for each other, the spouses among each other, with our children, with our parents, with the rest of our family, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with your mercy and grace, join us and our family members and loved ones that have passed away and died on the day of judgment with our beloved Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa alihi wa sahbihi, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa qumu bi salatikum yarhamkumullah.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
حقا لا إله إلا الله. اللهم أحسن وقوفنا بين يديك ولا تخزنا يوم العرض عليك واسترنا فوق الأرض وتحت الأرض يوم العرض عليك. استووا. Please, brothers and sisters, bear with us for a few minutes after the salah. We have a person here who is giving the shahada, inshallah, after the salah, and you have just a few announcements. Jazakumullah khair. Stow. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim siratal ladhina an'amta 'alayhim غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر الله سمع الله لمن حمده الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله Assalamu alaikum. So we'll have a few announcements first, then our brother will come and give the shahada after that. But we have some few important announcements here. Last week I received a call from somebody that he told me, you know, brother, so and so, he passed away. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, brother, and I got to know after that one of our members here who used to come to the masjid every Friday, and he passed away last week. I felt so bad that nobody mentioned that, because I knew after that his name is Ayhan Mahain. He's one of the active members here. He comes every Friday. He has smiley face. And the thing that this brother, he told me that, you know, that he was helping me monthly. He was giving him monthly because the other person couldn't involve. So this is a call as well to make dua for our brother Ayhan Mahain who passed away. We're gonna miss him. And if somebody can take off what he used to help that man monthly, he said that he never missed monthly payment. It's like home payment or car payment, so he was helping him. So there's a call if somebody can help that person to continue what our brother he was doing. So very nice guy. Please let's make dua for him and read Surah Al-Fatiha sincerely. This one thing. The other, we have a sister for one of our sisters in the community. Her name is Shahinaz bint Rabi'a. She's fighting COVID back home in Jordan, and she asked us to make dua to her. So make dua sincerely, and Allah inshallah cure her. Another thing, there is somebody who reached out to us. He's fighting cancer and he needs help. I'm not sure where is that, but contact the brother Ghulam. We can put the box here. You can donate to this box. If you have any other means to donate, please don't hesitate to contact brother Ghulam. He can lead you out to this. Inshallah. We have our brother here.
This is a very special and beautiful day, mashallah. So happy brother Nick, right? Your name is?
Nick.
All right. From Tampa, I believe? Okay, we forgive you. Well, we're very honored, mashallah, to have this brother joining us today. It's an honor. So we're going to say it in English first, and then we'll say the Shahada in Arabic. So first we're going to say that the pillars of faith, that I bear witness that there is only one God.
I bear witness that there is only one God,
Allah.
Allah,
And that Muhammad is his prophet and messenger.
and that Muhammad is his messenger, prophet and messenger.
And I believe in the day of judgment.
And I believe in the day of judgment.
I believe in the prophets and messengers of God.
I believe in the prophets and messengers of God.
I believe that everything that happens by the permission of God, Allah.
I believe that everything that happens by the permissions of God, Allah,
And I believe in the angels.
and I believe in the angels.
Okay, so now we're going to say the statement of faith in Arabic and in English. Ashhadu
Ashhadu
anna
anna
la
la
ilaha
ilaha
illa
illa
Allah.
Allah
Wa ashhad
wa ashhadu
anna
anna
Muhammad
Muhammad
Rasul Allah.
Rasul Allah.
I bear witness
I bear witness
that there is only one God,
that there is only one God,
Allah,
Allah,
and that Muhammad
and that Muhammad
is his prophet and messenger.
is his prophet and messenger.
Normally we don't hug, but I'm not sure. We'll give a loud takbir. Takbir! 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 I'm sorry? MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So you said you're 27 years old?
27 to give the Shahada here. Number 27.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. I gotta give my hug. I don't know why. So, alhamdulillah, I want to welcome you. This is your new family. Everybody here is your brother, everybody's your sister, so we're very proud to have you, inshallah. Do you want to say maybe a word of how you came to Islam, or just want to tell us something?
Yeah, honestly, it's been a big community. I've looked into it a lot over the last couple of years. I've researched it, and I've felt nothing but love since actually looking into it. And even coming in here today, I was greeted with hugs and just warmth and love. So, I'm happy to embark on this journey, and I'm happy to be here today. So it's amazing. I feel great. Thank you.
كيف حالك؟ أخبارك؟ من جد؟ We're in town then. How's that? حكيت معه إن شاء الله good, but what's this thing? Actually, I was going to call you.